Hi guys, we're gonna start our new set of notes. It's called Finding Mean. And no, you're not finding someone who's mean and rude and whatever. This is actually mean is a mathematical term that means the average. But here's the thing, I want to display a little quick scenario about why we do this and why we find the average of something. So I have here, these are blocks. I didn't have actual blocks, so I used Post-its to represent people's different colors, or the average number of people. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these green blocks. So I'm going to put this value here. I had one person with this orange heart block. I had 2 people like the polka dots. And I had 4 people who like the stripes. So before we get into this math, I'm going to scoot these away. I want you to think about how can I manipulate these squares where all of them have the same. We want them to be equal. Well, this one has a lot, so I'm going to move this one down. Well, this one has 4, this one has 2. These 2 match, but I want all of them to match. So let's take one off the top here. Okay, 3, 3. These are both 3. And I can move this one here. So now, even though I started out with 4 different numbers, I found the average. I wanted to distribute them and make them all center. I wanted it to be averaged out. So now I have equal groups where there are 3 inside each group. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you the math behind what I just did and what you guys are actually going to do. So I'm going to put the columns back where they were. I'm going to regroup them back how they were with 5, 1, 2, and 4. So this is how you actually find the average. So you're going to start with the numbers you had. That was 5, 1, 2, and 4. I add up all of my things that I had. So I'm going to show you again. I had 5, 1, 2, and 4. So those are my values. I'm going to add them up. 5 plus 1 is 6. 2 plus 4 is 6. Drag that guy down. 6 plus 6 is 12. So that's my sum. So I'm going to tuck this to the side. Now to find the average, you take your sum, which is 12, and you divide it by the number of units that you had. You don't divide it by the 5 or the 1 or the 2 or the 4. You divide it by how many of these things you have. So I'm going to scoot that down. So I have, here's 1 value, 2 values, 2 values, 3 values, 4. I have 4 of these Post-its telling me different numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4 different values. It doesn't matter the number. I have 4 different options. So, not just because I have a number 4, but because I had 4 options, like my blocks, I had 4 different numbers. That is what I'm going to divide my sum by. 12 divided by 4 equals 3. So let's take a look back before when I had these, distributed evenly. And I wanted all of them to be equal across the board. Look how many each column had. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That means the average or the mean equals 3. So this is a visual way to represent why we find the mean and what that is. And then your notes, I'm going to tell you exactly how you follow the steps of adding up all of your values to find your sum. Next, you divide it by the number of values. So in this case, I had, actually I'm going to circle them. I had 1, 2, 3, 4 values that I put together. That's where this number came from. And I divide, giving me the average is 3, which means even though I started with 5 here, 1 there, 2 here, and 3 there, the average or the number in the middle where everything evened out was when all of them had 3. It's a measure of center. I want everything to be centered and almost close together. Not before where I had this really tall pile of 5, this really short pile of 1. I wanted everything to be averaged out and almost kind of is central. All right, if you guys are ready, you guys can go on to your actual set of notes. Make sure you have the correct notes in front of you. They look like this.